Today, we're counting down the top 5 ranked neighborhoods in the greater Seattle area for houseboats, from Ship Canal pockets to the floating home docks around Lake Union. One name at the top may sound obvious once you hear why, but the order getting there has a few twists. For this countdown, we're staying focused on waterfront access, houseboat and marina moorage, nearby services, and the kind of shoreline setting that makes a neighborhood matter in Seattle's floating home world. Most of the strongest contenders cluster around Lake Union and the Ship Canal, where the city's relationship with houseboats is part of the everyday landscape. So let's start at number 5 and work our way toward the neighborhood that defines the category. Number 5 is Fremont. Fremont sits in northern Seattle and has a long local history, beginning as a separate city before being annexed into Seattle in 1891. For houseboats, its strength comes from the Ship Canal. Fremont pairs canal-side moorage pockets with a very walkable neighborhood core and access to nearby marine services. That combination gives it a practical edge, because houseboat life is not just about the water view. It is also about docks, maintenance, supplies, and being connected to the rest of the city. Fremont does not dominate the Lake Union floating home conversation the way some higher-ranked neighborhoods do, but as a Ship Canal pick, it absolutely belongs in the countdown. Number 4 is Northlake. Northlake is the neighborhood along the northern shore of Lake Union, made up of the southern part of Wallingford below North 40th Street. Its name is almost the whole story. This is the north edge of the lake, right where Lake Union and the Ship Canal help shape the neighborhood's identity. Houseboat docks near Northlake Way and Gasworks Park give Northlake a clear connection to Seattle's floating home scene, with shoreline access that feels closely tied to the working and recreational life of the lake. It lands at number 4 because it has a strong waterfront setting, but the top 3 bring even more direct concentration around the core Lake Union houseboat corridors. Number 3 is South Lake Union. As the name says, South Lake Union sits at the southern tip of Lake Union in central Seattle, with Denny Way marking the southern edge of the official urban center before Denny Triangle begins. For houseboats, this neighborhood stands out because it offers central Lake Union moorage access, waterfront services, and nearby dining and transit, close to the floating home docks. That central position gives South Lake Union a very different feel from the quieter canal-side pockets farther north. It is one of the most connected entries in the countdown, and its Lake Union location keeps it firmly in the conversation for Seattle houseboats. Number 2 is Westlake. Westlake is named for its place on the western shore of Lake Union, and that location is exactly why it ranks so highly here. Along Westlake Avenue North, the neighborhood has established houseboat and marina moorage, putting it directly into one of Seattle's most recognizable houseboat settings. The west side of Lake Union gives Westlake a front-row relationship with the water, with the shoreline, docks, and boating infrastructure all playing a central role in the neighborhood's character. It comes incredibly close to the top spot, because when people picture Seattle houseboats lining Lake Union, Westlake is often one of the first areas that comes to mind. And number 1 is Eastlake. Eastlake sits on the eastern shore of Lake Union, and its main thoroughfare, Eastlake Avenue East, runs north from the edge of downtown toward the University Bridge and the University District. For houseboats, Eastlake rises to the top because it holds Seattle's signature floating home concentration, with docks lining Fairview Avenue East along the east side of the lake. That specific stretch gives Eastlake a level of identity that is hard to match. The floating homes are not just nearby, they are one of the defining features of the shoreline. This is why Eastlake takes number 1, and it is also why the final ranking makes sense once you trace the docks around Lake Union. So to recap, number 5 was Fremont, with its Ship Canal moorage pockets and marine service access. Number 4 was Northlake, along the northern shore of Lake Union near Northlake Way and Gasworks Park. Number 3 was South Lake Union, with central lake access and waterfront services. Number 2 was Westlake, with established moorage along Westlake Avenue North. And number 1 was Eastlake, Seattle's signature floating home neighborhood along Fairview Avenue East. The greater Seattle area has plenty of waterfront, but for houseboats, Lake Union and the Ship Canal clearly carry the conversation. And that top spot, it does come down to concentration, visibility, and how deeply floating homes are woven into the shoreline itself. What did we miss? Which Seattle area neighborhood, dock area, marina pocket, or floating home spot would have made your personal top 5? And what would you have ranked higher? If you enjoyed the countdown, give the video a like and subscribe for more Seattle neighborhood deep dives. And tell us what you want next. Another waterfront ranking, a Lake Washington episode, or a closer look at one specific Seattle neighborhood.